Today I'm bringing you a quick rules rundown of Astro Knights from Indie Boards and Cards. For a full how to play video, check out the link in the description below.
Get back here this instant!
Thank you. Oh, I love you too. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you. Thank you.
Your goal in Astro Knights is to work together to defeat the big bad boss before it destroys your homeworld or wipes out your entire team. Unlike most other games, Astro Knights' order of play is determined randomly each round with the use of the turn order deck. A player's turn is broken up into 3 phases: the attack phase, main phase, and draw phase. During the attack phase, the only thing you can do is attack with the weapons you already have equipped. You can't do anything else. That's it. When you attack with a weapon, simply declare which weapon you want to attack with and who you're attacking, boss or minion. Resolve as much of the weapon's text as possible, then place it in your discard pile right away. Any damage dealt to the boss is instantly deducted from its health tracker. If the damage was dealt to a minion, then remove that many counters. If you remove the last counter, place the minion in the boss's discard pile, unless otherwise stated on that minion's card. Okay, now that we're done attacking, let's move on to the main phase. During the main phase, you can perform any of these actions in any order you want as many times as you like. And you can find a full list of these actions right here on this handy-dandy reference card. Let's break those down for you, shall we? Fuel cards are your primary source of energy. How much energy a card provides will be listed here in the card's text. When you play and resolve a fuel card, leave it in your play area. Do not place it in your discard pile. Not yet, anyway. All accumulated energy you generate on your turn is there for you to spend until the end of your main phase. And just like fuel cards, when you play a tech card, resolve its effect, but leave it in your play area. Do not place it in your discard pile. On your turn, you can spend the energy you generated to buy any number of face-up cards from the supply. To gain a card, spend energy equal to the value shown here, and place that card face-up in your discard pile. Anytime you take a card off the top of a supply deck, for whatever reason, flip the next card face-up. Anytime you would gain a card from the supply with this buy keyword listed in bold, instantly resolve the effect associated with it. This effect will only trigger the moment the card is bought, and never again. Overcharging a face-up tech card in the supply allows you to instantly gain the benefits of that card without adding it to your deck. To overcharge a tech card, pay the same cost you normally would to buy it, but instead of placing it in your discard pile, resolve its effect and place it on the bottom of the tech deck. And remember, when you remove a card from the supply, flip the top card of that deck face up. This is your slot track. It represents how many weapons your character can have equipped at any one time. You can increase your character's slot track by paying 3 energy for each slot you want to move up. To equip a weapon, simply play it from your hand and place it over your character like this. You can equip as many weapons as you have available slots. If your weapon has this equip keyword in bold, resolve that effect each time that weapon's equipped. This is your power-up track. You can spend 2 energy to power it up 1 space. Once your power track is at full power, you can activate your character's unique ability by powering down all the way and resolving the text as written. Your homeworld also has its own power track and unique ability that can be used by any player when it's fully powered up. When a card instructs you to power up your homeworld, move the cube up 1 space on its power track. When the homeworld is fully powered up, any player during their main phase may activate the homeworld's ability, draining its power completely and resolving the ability's text. Once you're done doing all you're going to do during the main phase, we move on to the draw phase. The draw phase is where you get to draw back up to 5 cards, but before you do that, there's a few things you need to take care of. First, place all fuel and tech cards you've played this turn into your discard pile in any order you want. After that's done, you have the option of discarding any number of cards you might still have in your hand in any order you want, or keep them all. It's completely up to you. Once you're done discarding, draw cards from the top of your deck until you have 5 cards in hand. If you run out of cards in the deck when drawing, simply flip your discard pile face down to form a new deck and continue drawing from there. At the end of every turn, players or boss reveal the top card of the turn order deck. If it comes up a number, the player who has that number plays next. Now, if the card that comes up is a boss card, well then, I guess it's their turn. The boss turn is broken up into 2 phases, the main phase and the draw phase, where they get to play cards from their very own deck. During the boss's main phase, resolve any activate abilities listed on the boss's level token, if they have a token, that is. Next, resolve all the activate abilities of any minions that might be on the table. When resolving a minions card, you must resolve them in order from oldest to newest, newest being the latest minion that the boss laid down. After resolving all the boss and minion abilities, the boss reveals 1 card from the top of their boss deck. If the card is a strike card, as indicated here, resolve its effect and place it face up in the boss's discard pile. But if it's a minion card, instead put it into play and add health tokens equal to its health value shown here. In addition, if your boss has a level token, add bonus health equal to the value shown here. And if the minion you just laid on the table has an instant effect, like this one, resolve it immediately the moment it enters play. All bosses start the game off as a level 1 boss, and as the game continues, they level up in difficulty. If the boss deck is empty when you enter the boss's draw phase, they immediately level up. When this happens, place the next level token for that boss in this space here, and resolve any instant abilities. Once the boss is done leveling up, shuffle the boss's discard pile, place it face down to form a new boss deck, then draw and resolve the top card of that deck as normal. Perform this level up process each time the boss starts its draw phase with an empty deck. If the boss's deck is empty when it enters the draw phase, and there are no more level tokens to place because it's already reached its max level, then the game is over and you lose. This is the boss track. The boss track works a little different for every boss, but lucky for us, what it does is explained right here on the boss mat. Whenever a player takes damage, reduce their health track by the amount of damage received. If the player's health track ever reaches 0, that player is exhausted. Whenever a player becomes exhausted, resolve the effect described in this white area of the boss mat. When a player is exhausted, they still continue playing as normal, with a few exceptions. An exhausted player can not be healed, so once at 0, you stay at 0. And any damage that would be dealt to an exhausted player is instead doubled and applied to the homeworld instead. In Astro Knights, there are more ways to lose than win. You see, the only way for players to win is to reduce the boss's health to 0. But the boss wins if all the players are exhausted, the homeworld's health drops to 0, or if the boss is at max level and can't draw a card from their main deck. And that's it. I hope this video helped, and I hope you enjoy playing Astro Knights. See you next week. Thanks for joining us. If you like this video and you want to see more, subscribe to our channel. It's the best way to keep up to date with everything we do here at Board Game Coffee. But if you want to see more right now, we got plenty of videos to choose from. And if that's not enough, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm Mark Maya, and this is Board Game Coffee. And remember, have fun, keep gaming, be social. See you next week.